Hello friends, it's Stamp Ventures with Shauna, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Welcome to day 7 of the 12 days of crafting. Yesterday we dived into door number 6 in the Advent calendar and we discovered puffy stickers. That's something that Stampin' Up! Has never really carried before. And I'm just checking to make sure that I'm hooked up to my iPad here. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah. And just a heads up, there are more puffy stickers coming. I've seen the product that is being launched in January, and there are some beautiful springtime puffy stickers. You might also notice that I've pulled out an extra storage envelope. Some of you saw to begin with that I had this storage envelope for my DSP that came in the Advent calendar. I had to cut an inch off to fit the paper in because 5 inches fits better into the envelope than 6. But I'm keeping all of my pieces in there, and I even printed out the featured colors that are in the DSP. I'll just hold that there for a second if you're wanting to grab a screenshot. You have probably noticed that I've been using those colors quite a bit. So that's the reason why they, and I found what the colors are by looking at the online store, and I found the listing for where you purchase the Advent calendar, and it listed the colors in the description there. So yeah, I've pulled out a second storage envelope so that I've got my masks and my, what did I call these things? Tags, and my puffy stickers. I've got more room to store things, so those can all go together. Sometimes I wrap an elastic band around my pieces, and they can go with the stamp set as well. So let's dive in and take a look at door number 7 today, and I'll tell you why I'm extra excited today, because the project that I'm going to do involves chocolate and money. So yeah, it's going to be fun, and we'll take a look here. Door number 7. Let's see. Oh my goodness, it's another set of dies. So when I opened the very first door, whoops, yeah, these things start to fall off after you open them and close them so many times. Yeah, the first door that I opened also had a set of dies, and I've been keeping them in with the stamps, and I can still keep mine in here if I'd like, because I think there's room for both of these sets. Or I could put them in that new envelope that I've been putting the different embellishments in. So I'll give you a quick look at what these dies are like, because I I finished creating a couple things with them, and then as I was putting them all back into the little baggie here, I was like, oh yeah, there's a giant square, and there's a medium-sized square, and there's a, well, not giant, a medium-sized rectangle and a small rectangle, and then there's a baby square. And I looked it over and I'm like, oh, I never even cut out the baby square and saw that it has the cute stitching around it. So you're not even going to see me use this one today, but it's got little stitch marks. And so I was like, okay, what is it that's in here that can fit in those little stitched mark areas? And for sure, this little heart, it looks like this when it's stamped. I'm not sure about the butterfly. Yeah, the butterfly is a little bit wide for it. There's also a little floral branch that would fit in there. That's this one right here. Yeah, so cute little stitch marks on it, but I didn't even realize until I was like getting ready for the video and gathering these up. Maybe I should leave these close by so you can see what sizes I'm using for today's project. And as I showed you before, today's project does involve chocolate and cash, or it could be a gift card too. But I'll bring in my supplies here. I've got some Secret Sea cardstock and some of the designer paper, and then some more pieces of cardstock that have been cut with the dies. So this large basic white was the large die, and then this was the medium square die. And then this piece here, that's kind of an in-between, I'm going to use it for a mat for the medium-sized square. I did try creating a mat for the smaller die like this, but because my paper that I'm going to be putting this onto is quite busy, it was just too much. I needed to go, the second layer needed to have a clean edge and not be quite so busy, at least for my tastes and my eye. So this is a 2" by 2" square, and I will just, yes, I'll double check that. So the largest square, the medium sized square, and then a 2" by 2". They kind of remind me of like little postage stamps, and I feel like there is so much more that I can do with these. I just haven't, taken the time to figure it all out yet, but it's kind of neat how some of the little notches can line up. You can kind of, almost like Lego sort of building style. I should give you quickly the sizes for the other papers here. So the paper here, the designer paper, is 6 inches tall, and it is 2 5/8 wide, 2 5/8 inches, which is 2.5 and a little bit more. Yeah, 2.5 and 2 ticks more if you go by that. Or if you want to say it's halfway between 2.5 and 2 3/4. That's where 2 5/8 is. And then I've got the cardstock here, and it is 6 1/4 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide. And I have scored it at, I'm going to turn it this way because I started here to score it, 2 1/4, 5 1/8, and 5 5/8. So I'm going to just hold these dimensions here, and this is going to end up making a card that holds a Kit Kat chocolate bar. This is the 99-gram Kit Kat bar. So it won't, depending on what size of bar you buy, it may or may not fit into my specific measurements. But yeah, I discovered today when I was going through Walmart that Kit Kat has these special salted caramel flavors, and they also have a hazelnut and an original. So it's the 99-gram Kit Kat, and there are my, I'm trying to hold this so that it's not, what do I want to say, not getting too much of a glare for you. Yeah, cardstock is 6 1/4 inches by 8.5, and you score it at 2 1/4, 5 1/8, and 5 5/8, and then the designer paper is 6 by 2 5/8. So I'm going to pull out my paper trimmer, as I'm going to do just a little bit of trimming. I'm going to turn this inside and fold and fold. That's going to create the little spine of my card, or maybe you'd consider it like a book, a chocolate book. And then this is going to create a pocket. And I'm going to go ahead right away and cut the diagonal off of the pocket. So matching up where my cutting track is at the top at the score line, and at the bottom here at the corner, and this is the flap that is 2 1/4 inches, and I'm going to cut that triangle off. And this is just a scrap that'll go into my, you want to see what I keep my scraps in. I've been mostly, oops, this isn't Secret Sea, this is Misty Moonlight, but I just got these sheet protectors, and I tucked in some pieces of cardboard to hold it firm, and then it can stand up in my shelf, and I tuck all my scraps into that. As you can see, I've got tons of Misty Moonlight. It's one of my favorite colors. So yeah, that'll just be set off to the side. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to glue my pocket right away and give it time to set and to glue shut. So I like to use my liquid glue. I am so sad that Stampin' Up! Has run out of its stock of the Mono Multi liquid glue for the sale today. It just went like that. I think a lot of people, like, they must have gone on, you know, just after midnight or 1 in the morning, or maybe they got up at 5 in the morning to place their orders. But the popular things have run out or have almost run out for the Black Friday sale. So yeah, there were some really good deals. I noticed that the paper trimmer, that's the one that I'm using all the time on my videos, it's on sale at 40% off. It's still available. So yeah, just to let you know that it's always better to shop earlier than later when there are these sales. So you're going to notice I'm going to stick right close to the edge. Just going to do little dots so that it doesn't goop out too much, but I don't want my glue to go up. I need to create as much space for my money. So I'm going to hold this shut with a couple of clothespins, and while that dries, I'll go on to my stamping. So I'm going to do stamping on these 2 squares, just to remind you, there's the big and the medium and the little weeny one that has the stitched details. And I'm pulling out my Secret C. And for this one, I'm going to stamp it with For Someone Extra Special. And that's really hard for you to see, so I'll show it to you when it looks like here. This fits quite nicely on that medium square. And boy, I don't know who it is that's going to get this chocolate bar and money from me, but they sure will be extra special. As you can see, I've shown you a $5 bill. Ooh, that's really generous of me, isn't it? Yeah, it would probably, well, I don't know what it would be necessarily, how much I would put in, but hopefully maybe more, because you can't even buy a special cup of coffee with $5 anymore in some cases. On the inside, I'm going to put love you. I was thinking about stamping birthday wishes, but it's not quite the right size to stamp on this square one. And I don't know. Yeah, actually, these images are shown at only 80%. So I think it would be too long to fit in here. Yeah, so I'm just going to go with love you and For Someone Extra Special. And I think I can put this ink pad away for now, and we'll do some gluing. So the medium square fits nicely onto the 2" by 2" mat that I've created. The love you has a bit of extra space, and that's because I was leaving room to maybe write a little personalized message in there. But, you know, you can decide. Maybe you don't want to stamp anything, so you have room to write even more. So a few options that way. All right, and I'm going to glue, oh, you know what? I was actually going to put dimensionals between those 2 pieces, and I forgot. Oh, well, I'll put dimensionals under here. There's, just to add, whoops, give it a little lift. And let's see, I want to go maybe not quite 2 fingers down, something like that. Ish. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe 1.5 fingers. And then, as you probably guessed, this is going to get glued onto the front of our chocolate bar card. And I'm wondering how this is doing for... It's probably pretty much set. It doesn't take usually very long for that liquid glue to dry. Yeah. So this will be centered on the front. It might, you know what might help? Is if I take and I put the chocolate bar here, so I have something to, yeah, to work on. Won't buckle underneath quite as much. Okay. Have I tasted this salted caramel Kit Kat? No, I haven't. I sure hope it tastes good. If you have, let me know in the comments. I generally like Kit Kats. They're, if I'm good, I'm not a huge chocolate bar person, but I mean, I do like chocolate, but chocolate bars, like I like dark chocolate, and most, you know, convenience store chocolate bars are pretty sweet and more milk chocolate, but I don't mind a Kit Kat. And so I'm hoping that this this salted caramel is pretty yummy. And then there's a hazelnut one. And actually, I'm even more excited about the hazelnut one because I love hazelnut. I'm a Ferrero Rocher person for sure. Funny thing, I saw some, I saw like it was some kind of trivia the other day. And what it said was that Ferrero Rocher buys about a quarter, something like 25% of the world's hazelnuts. Like they go through a lot of hazelnuts. So I'm going to glue this here, and this is going to be where I can sign, you know, to and from and whatever little greeting. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Oh, whoops. Oh, that was just an extra. I'm going to put it kind of looking at my edges about the same on each side, something like that. And I'm going to put my glue there along the flap, and maybe down a little bit here, there. But I don't want any there because I don't want to glue it shut. So just about something like that. Now, you're going to see, I'm going to take and tuck my $5 bill in, generous $5 bill me, and you're going to see that it just, like, you tuck it right to the edge of the fold, and now, ooh, did my glue scoot up a little bit? Maybe, ooh, look at, just, like, oh, it like fits like a glove. Just like, yeah, you have to use the teeny tiniest amount of glue down there. While I'm here, there's two more things I'm going to glue in. So I'll use some glue dots to glue the Kit Kat bar down. It's not like I want it, you know, like super glued. I'm just going to use a couple so that when the person goes to enjoy the chocolate bar, they don't have to like totally mess up the paper and tear it into huge amounts of bits. I just go like this. I'm going to use 2. Maybe you'd want 3. I don't know. I'll just say 2 is good. So I've kind of already lined this up, and I'm pushing the chocolate bar towards the spine a little. And there we go. Another thing that I'm going to glue inside. So I've taken and die cut from the first set of dies that we found in the Advent calendar window, 2 of the flowers, and I've already taken and glued a couple of the gold embellishments in. And where do I want to put this? I could put it, I think I like put it down in this corner because then there's room to sign your name and room to put to from. You wouldn't necessarily have to put anything on the inside if you didn't want to. I'm not going to use a dimensional here because I don't, like, already there'll be a little bit of a thickness added with the embellishment in the center of the flower. So I don't think it needs to be any thicker than it already is. So just like that. Maybe I'll turn it a little bit. I really don't want the petals of the flower to hang out the edge. Okay, I'll just give that a moment. Now we're on to the ribbon. And if you're still there, yeah. Oh, Inez, you have a question. You're saying, are these from the stamp set? If you're meaning the sentiments, that's a yes. So love you and for someone extra special is from the stamp set. If that's not the question you were asking, if it was something else, maybe give me a little more information. And yeah, and then these dies, these floral dies were from the first set of dies that I opened up from door 1. And then the other dies I just opened up a moment ago from door number 7. Okay, so ribbon, I want to tie this up so that it kind of holds it all together. And I've pulled out 2 different kinds of ribbon. First of all, Stampin' Up! Is known for being matchy-matchy. So in our annual catalog, we have faux linen ribbon, and this is the Secret C. So I know that it's going to match really well to the cardstock. But then I was looking through my my pile of ribbon in my, my ribbon shelf. And this is actually Night of Navy, so it is a little bit lighter, but it's got pretty gold sparkles in it. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to put a gold center sparkle in the flower. And so I'm kind of leaning towards the navy with the gold, but like I said, the linen is much, it's darker and more matchy-matchy. So if anybody's still watching, let me know which ribbon do you think I should go with. You have a interesting bird's eye view to all of this. And I'd love to hear your response. I wonder if I could use both. So we get the gold sparkle and the darker color, except the one is narrower. If you get a chance, put your response, dark or sparkly, in the comments, and I'll go with the one that gets the vote. And okay, Inez says sparkle. Yeah, I do like how it matches the gold sparkle in the gems. Okay, so, yeah, okay, well, we'll go with sparkle. So I'll just set this one off to the side. The gold sparkle, I don't think it's for, well, unless it's on the clearance rack, I don't think it's available anymore. But you want a good 17 inches or so to go all the way around and then still be able to tie a bow. So I'm going to go like this, and I think that's the side that's got more sparkle on it. So I'm going to turn it so it's the sparkle really sparkly out. And I think it's, there we go. And I'll go a little bit off to this one side. Oh my goodness, yeah, the sparkles are so pretty. And doing my upside down bow again, as always. And I need to, I need to zhuzh. This is my friends have taught me that word. I need to zhuzh the bow. There. Okay. Now, of course, I also need to even out the bow, the tails on the bow. I like to make it so that both my tails are cut in the same direction. It's, you know, just one of those things that's I'm a little fussy about, a fuss budget about. The other thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to look to see where my ribbon is. I'm going to slide it down, and then I'll take and I'll put a little bit of my tape runner right there to hold it in place. Now, what you might want to do, if you want to make it extra specially nice, that piece of designer paper that's on the front, that's, 2 5/8 of an inch wide, you could take and cut a second piece and put it on the back if you want to cover over the ribbon. But I don't know that it's super necessary. It's just, you know, if you want to get like really matchy and maybe it's a really super special occasion. Okay, so finally, we're going to put this flower on, and this one might happen to hang off the edge, but that's okay because it's not going to get scrunched too much when it opens up. And I'm wondering if I can put just like a mini dimensional to hold it onto there. I'll give it a try. I know this sounds really weird, but I might just cut off the corner edge of the mini dimensional so that doesn't poke through from underneath. Don't see any foamy adhesive. Ooh, it's tight, but you can do it. Okay, and let's go like this. Now, I do have another chocolate bar card to show you because in about a week and a half, I'm going to be in a craft show. And it's at Keon Gardens here in Moose Jaw. It's a Keon Gardens Makers Market. And I'm going to make some of these so people have things to give at Christmas to put in stockings. So not only can they give them, you know, cash and a little chocolate, but, you know, it's all done up in a nice presentation. It's not just, you know, cash in a plain old envelope. This is something special. So I'll show you my Christmas version. Here we go. Inez, maybe you could have put the ribbon under the DSP. Yes, that's what I was thinking. You can glue the DSP over top of the back and cover it up. But it's a personal preference. Whatever, you know, whatever you'd like. Yeah. Oh, I see. Or you could put the ribbon under this DSP too. Yeah, that's another option. There's like 5 different ways to do, you know, the same thing. So both Superstore and Walmart carry these Kit Kat chocolate bars. And I'm trying to think. I think the Walmart price was like, I don't know, 10 or 20 cents better per bar. So I ended up buying the ones at Walmart, but both of them carry them. So I got to show you my Christmas one. Last year we had some paper and it was called Reindeer Days. And that's what I just pulled out. It doesn't matter. It could be whatever kind of, you know, Christmas paper that you have on hand, and you don't need a full sheet. It's only like that 6-inch by 2 5/8 inch. 5/8 inch. And you can see for someone's extra special, this time I've used the Real Red, and I've used the Real Red like sparkle ribbon, and then I popped up the word extra. I did that in just in like basic, like in black. I could have done it in like garden green or something too if I wanted it to be even Christmassier, but just to kind of highlight the extra. I'm not putting flowers on it or anything like that. And then I'll show you when it opens up. I did do a little something different on the inside. So there, this time, see, this is the hazelnut one. That looks good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, look at me being generous. This time, this one has a $20 bill in it. I stamped the Merry Christmas from the Jolly Holly stamp set. So there's the Merry and there's the Christmas. And then I also stamped the berries and holly, and I colored them. I used the dark Granny Green Apple ink stamping blends because that's Granny Green Apple there. And then I also used the Real Red. I believe this one's dark. Yes, because I'm using the Real Red cardstock. And again, all I did was I used 2 glue dots to hold it down. You don't need a whole lot more. I mean, they're eventually going to rip it out of there anyways. And I just, okay, 2 more things that, well, you could tuck other things into the pocket too, of course. Like if you have, you know, like a stash tea bag, this one's called Christmas in Paris. So you could give them chocolate and a little tea. Of course, gift cards always are nice too. So there's a Tim Hortons gift card. You could tuck that in there. This was from another gift card holder that I tied this around. That kind of looks cute, doesn't it? If you have a little extra ribbon, you don't have to tie the extra ribbon. It was just, you know, something that was there, but it's an option. Maybe you'll think of other things that would fit in there too. Now, my mom sometimes gives each of the grandkids a check. And so that's why I'm going to make a whole bunch of these too, because I think she'll be wanting to give a little special something out to her grandkids. And what I found was that a personal check is about, I don't know, like 1/4 of an inch longer than our typical dollar bill size. So with the personal check, I had to just fold it a little bit at the bottom and tuck it in like so. And then it would fit. So just to let you know, there are options of things that you can put in there. Now, Inez, what am I going to charge for these? I still have to run my costs, but I am looking at, I have to, I'll get back to you on that. I have a price in mind, but I don't know if ultimately that's what I'm going to go with. So I don't want to give you a price until I've run the math, because I know how much the Kit Kat chocolate bars are now. They're $2.50 from Walmart plus the tax on that, so about $2.75. But I have to check my costs for my paper and my ribbons, and then I need to still add on a little bit, because I do have to consider that I am putting a little bit of time into it. Of course, probably I won't truly cover all of my time, but that's okay. It's just something that I like to do. I don't do very many craft fairs each year, like maybe 1 or 2. And the other thing that I put out when I do a craft sale are my kits. And so people can see how easy it is just to craft just using a kit. And so the chocolate bars and little things like this are just one of the things that I sell for my craft sales. So, I hope you're excited about the chocolate bars like I am. This was fun to do. It took me a while to get these dimensions just right. But it's, you can use them for lots of different occasions. It doesn't have to be Christmas. And so give it a go if you have a chance. Show me what you come up with for decorations for yours. You could definitely change out, this could be circles instead of squares, lots of different choices there. And I'd love to see how your chocolate bar cards turn out in the end. So I'll tuck these back into their little baggie and put them safe away into my stamp set holder. And tomorrow we'll be back with another door. All right, it's going to be door number 8. And I don't think I even know what tomorrow's project is yet, so it's going to be a surprise to all of us. Thanks so much for joining me today. Have a super Tuesday evening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Good luck with your Walmart shopping, Inez. Bye for now.